T.
Welcome to T-Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 205. And in this one, we will be discussing that excellent Derby Day win, like it says in the title, and then obviously previewing tomorrow's game against Sunderland at home. Good opportunity could be to follow up, however they are doing well. But obviously we'll get into that. But first of all, Dad, how are you? Because we had a few technical difficulties. But
Camera's really lagging, so but I don't think it is now, is it?
Nah, it's all good now.
But
in general, you all good?
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, autumn season. I've got my 21st birthday coming up. I know that's you.
Yeah. He's referring to me. If you don't know, it's my birthday on Friday. So there won't be a Hat Show on Friday. We're going to do it on Thursday. But what I might do, because the team news always comes out a day before, is I might do a separate video talking on who's available and stuff like that. But yeah, that's that when it comes to that. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So the Watford game, obviously we did a watch long, Dad. That was always good. Thought we'd bring it back, like we said. Obviously, the first ever watch long we did was against Watford when we beat them 1-0. James Collins, the COVID season, when he scored the penalty. But yeah, the lineup, like a lot of Luton fans, we were a bit worried. Well, I was anyway, because of the two in midfield. Like I've said, I don't mind the three at the back. I did have my slight doubts. With the midfield, like I say, two there. Obviously, Kaminsky in goal, Burke, McGuinness, and Holmes. McGuinness had a similar situation to what Mengi had last season in the Premier League, where he didn't train the whole week, but he was. We had the feeling he was going to be involved in this game, and obviously he was. Good to see Holmes starting his first start for Luton since he's joined. Obviously, he did play not too long ago in the under-21, scored a good free kick, so he's been getting them, minutes managed and in for this. And obviously, it's sort of good that he had that in a way, because then he was ready to go for this game. With obviously the other injuries at the back, Moses and Doughty as the wing backs, Clark and Kraus, Chong ahead of them, and then Morris and Elijah. So good to see two up front. Obviously, you were urging for that to happen, Dad. So that was always good to see, and it was good that it was. As much as I wouldn't mind seeing Brown ahead of Elijah in this game, it was good that they were both up front together, because we know they're much better when they're next to each other. As for the bench, you had Brown, like I say, Hashioka, Johnson, Krul, Ruddock, Nakamba, Nelson, Taylor, and Woodrow. So decent bench, considering there is obviously a few players out for us. Anderson, Mengi, of course, Walsh, who will be back for Coventry on the weekend. But yeah, I was just a bit worried about the two in the middle. It's not them as players. It's just I just feel it's a little bit weaker with them two. Not them two necessarily, but like I say, just I'd rather have more in midfield. Do you know what I mean? So, but other than that, there was no complaints really from my end. I expected to see Moses and Doughty sort of how they were in the game as them, wing backs essentially. And then the back three was the best that we could go with, wasn't it? With the injuries. So, yeah, that was my thoughts on it. Your thoughts when you saw it, Dad?
It was more like it was a 3-4-1-2 or something like that. I think, but possibly drop a chunk, drop back as well. But like I say, two up front. I knew we'd probably stick with the three, especially with the other injuries we've got as well. Obviously, a lot of people had Doughty and playing at further back or whatever. But yeah, no, it's good. It's interesting that there was no Shea on the bench. I'm not sure what's going on there. I was quite surprised that Baptiste wasn't there, but I'm not sure if he's injured or not because he played in the last game and it hasn't really been said about. You know, I've seen comments saying, "Oh, he's just still recovering," but he played in the last game. So what are you on about? I'm not sure about that. I'm just going to take it as he is injured again, which is a lot of fans were calling that out. You know, when we signed him, but we don't know yet. But yeah, and we obviously didn't include Clark because we made room for players or whatever. We put Nakamba in there, but it worked at the end of the day, so it wasn't too bad. I think Kraus has to start, and he makes a lot of impact in games. So yeah, it was bold, but the main thing for me was having the two up front. I was more concerned with a little bit with the defense, a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I know I rate McGuinness anyway. You do as well, but Mengi is I thought he'd be very important and could have been important in this game, but yeah, well, as it turns out, he's fine. So yeah, the lineup is pretty much kind of what we expected to a certain extent, but I'm glad it was tweaked.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah,
I think he played that formation a lot when he was at Forest Green as well. So yeah, that's the best we could go with, and we knew Holmes would start as well. So yeah.
Yeah, regarding Baptiste, apparently Rob Edwards come out today and said he's in training, but it might be too soon. Obviously, I'll get into team reason.
Yeah. I don't know. He didn't come off injured or anything in that previous game, did he?
Again, no, it must be a thing in training, isn't it? Like he must have just got something in training. That's the only thing I can think of. Because like we said, that Sheffield United game, he was one of the better players when he come on, wasn't he? So yeah, and it was a bit of a blow. We both wanted to see him start in this game, obviously if he was available because of that impact he tried to make. But yeah, he was obviously we get into it a bit later, but he was quite close to his chest, Rob Edwards today in the presser from what I've seen and heard. On who's available and stuff, but we'll get into that a bit later on. But yeah, going into the first half, I mean, it reminded me, it was literally like the game last time we played him at Kenilworth Road, in the sense of we were just so dominant and we were right up for it, and we just looked really good. We did have one little scary moment right at the start of the game. Obviously, Holmes tried playing it back to Kaminsky. Kaminsky probably was beaten there, so maybe lucky it was a little bit windy there, and the wind's gone a little bit the other way, to be honest. But I'm not going to look at it too much. Obviously, if it did go in, then yes, it probably is a different game, and the crowd are probably frustrated, especially in the derby, conceding a goal like that. But other than that, the first half we were brilliant. We really stuck it on them. They didn't know what to do. Tom Cleverley want to inflict pain, mate. We inflicted pain on you heavily. It could have been more as well. Jordan Clark with the goal. It always happens, Dad, when we watch a game together, I swear. We score a goal and we think, well, is it going to count, or what the hell's happened there? Like, has it actually gone in? That's how we felt with the Clark goal. Great shot initially from Holmes. It's definitely going on target. Whether it's going in or not is a different question. But Jordan Clark, it got the touch off him, and it went in. And yes, as much as it weren't his direct shot or anything, I did say, didn't I, the Hat Show before, he could make an impact, in this game. And I think I might put him as a cam, if I'm correct, going into this game. So, it's one of them where he knows what it's about. He's one of them players as well. He's been at Luton long enough to know what this game's all about. And he was loving it. He's absolutely loving it. And, a few people were saying about dropping him. I think we might have been a couple of weeks ago, maybe. But he's one of them players. He can make that impact, and got us off the mark. With that goal, and it was a great start, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah. Just before that, we had a free kick Um, and the pitch was where it wasn't as bad as Oxford, but it wasn't great. You know, and Watford have been complaining about it, but you know, it didn't affect us that much. But there was a lot of players sliding about and stuff. And yeah, we had a free kick just before that, and Kraus again won it, played it to Burke, who had the shot. It was a decent shot, but Elijah was on his own in the box, and he probably could have given it to him. But you know, he got the shot on target in the end of the day, and I think did he get it on target or did it side netting? No, I think the keeper did save it. And then and that was from a Doughty set piece initially, and then the corner. Morris slipped over in the box and come to Holmes, hit it first time. It was definitely going. It was on target, and the keeper might have saved it, but because it swerved, Clark was basically in the way, but had the presence of mind to sort of turn his leg outwards, so it just sort of bounced off of him and went in. You know what I mean? And that's clever, and we got to give him credit for that. And although we've said, maybe he should, you know, because I think it's more where it's been played that's made us. Do you know what I mean? Like when he was put up front and that, but I do think we did miss him at times last season when he was injured. So it was deserved for our. It wasn't the dominate. It wasn't that we dominated them. It's just that we worked harder than them. We won all the second balls. Every time they had possession, we hustled them and hurried them down, and they just couldn't quite fight back with it. We bullied them, whether they knew what it meant or not. Even if they did know what it meant, we just bullied them. They couldn't cope with it. And we deserve to go into the lead. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously there was a few yellow cards that were given out. I do think the ref was a bit card heavy, to be quite honest with you. And it was the inconsistency for me. Like the Doughty one, it was a foul. You know, I'm going to be honest, it was a card. But then they do the same thing and they didn't get a card. You know, where's the consistency? Right, and that's people's frustrations, right? And I said it on the Championship show yesterday, right? You look at the Premier League, right, this weekend. Look at the Saliba red card, and then Chelsea do a similar thing, and they don't get red card. You know what I mean? Like it's the inconsistency, which is what people get frustrated about.
Well, you say, like I say that, but when they're explaining it, because they look at more intricate details than we do, and do you know what I mean? We see it quickly, and you see a TikTok clip or whatever, and they look exactly identical. But if the ball's going into the path of the striker, then it's really, if it's going away from the striker and he weren't really going to get there, then that's why the reason why it's a yellow and things like that. Do you know what I mean? And that is fair enough. That has to be looked at, because you can't just go, right, it's a red, it's a red, it's a red, it's a red, because you will get into the territory of, but the ball was nowhere near him. So, do you know what I mean? So it's just that they look into too much detail at times. That's the problem that VAR brings. Do you know what I mean? But we haven't got it at the moment, so let's enjoy it while we haven't got it. You know, but I know what you mean. But it's going to be. It's like that. A lot of players now, you know, with the way society is now, that winning mentality, you can't lose. You do anything to not be shown up and do you know what I mean? Things like that. People feigning injuries, pretending they've got cramp. I know some players do, but come on, man! Like these are fit players. Like, you know, the food that they get fed, the training that they do, they're much more healthier. When I was younger, like players used to go for a beer and that, like straight after the match and all sorts. You wouldn't see them going down with cramp and all that. Do you know what I mean? So there's a little bit of that. I mean, I'll just bring in the boxing, that guy. Oh, what's his name? The cocky one who was getting beaten. And then like threw himself out the ring, and he did. Do you know what I mean? Because he didn't want to be seen to be losing, and that, and it backfired on him, because he was saying to the guy, "You're going to be made into a meme and all this," and it was the other way around. You know what I mean? But things like that, I do see a lot of that mentality in football now, with the time wasting, which incidentally, you know, they're trying to stop. They're trialing where the keepers keep hold of it for too long in the Premier League, Reserve League, Premier League 2. Whereas if they do that, the other team gets a corner, which is interesting. That should stop that. And they will look at ways of doing it. Like I've noticed a lot of keepers, basically, when you kicking it out, you're encroaching over the line. So technically that should be handball, no? But they're getting away with that. It's quite clear if you watch it. If you slowed that down, paused it at that moment, whatever, you'd see that it's over the line and stuff. Just little things like that. They're pushing the boundaries and that, which is, I guess, a little bit of human nature, but it's a little bit embarrassing. That it all started with that corners, moving it a millimetre forward and all that. What does it make, really? If you've got real quality, it shouldn't matter a fuck, should it? But just thought I'd have a little rant.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, lots of yellow cards, but we were happy going into it. We were saying on the watch along there was no average performances. Everyone was really good and up for the fight essentially. But going into the second half, obviously we had a bit of a worry. Obviously Holmes come off. Hashioka come on, and we'll be honest. We said it on the watch along. Especially you, Dad. Obviously, you had your slight doubts at the time, just because one, he hasn't played since pre-season, and second of all, that Bournemouth game, it haunts everyone, doesn't it? Really. So, but he done well. I do feel when he come on and Johnson come on, obviously they were a bit more supported. But it worked. It's a whole team performance. And when they were called upon, a few times Hashioka airily heading it away, stuff like that. I thought he was decent. And even to be fair, after that Bournemouth game, when he played a few games in the Prem, he done all right. I felt.
Yeah, he scored a few own goals in that, him and Kabore, wasn't it?
Yeah. Some of them were unlucky, though, especially the one, I think it was at Tottenham, that one. Well, that might have been Kabore, but either way, it was unlucky. But yeah, obviously, like I say, Burt come off as well, which did look a worry, especially with how he's played as well. But obviously, we'll see tomorrow if he's available. And then obviously Nakamba come on. I mean, a lot of people were saying about Nakamba starting, us two included in that, just to be in front of the defence, draw things up. I mean, he was immense when he come on. His tackling and just getting stuck in. When he's like that in front of the defenders, he's unbelievable, to be honest. But yeah, the subs they all played a massive part. Ruddock come on as well. Obviously, he was really good in the game. Obviously, we said on the watch along we didn't mind him coming on in this game because how long he's been at Luton, he knows what it's about, and he's done really well actually in this game. We'll be honest. The other games where he's come on, he's been a bit sloppy, especially in possession. But this game, he was immense, like I said on the watch along. And then obviously Brown come on as well. Good to see that. Obviously Morris come off, so you're probably managing his minutes that he's just come back. And obviously we've got the early goal in the second half as well, which really helped. I mean, at the same time, I was still thinking we need another one just to cement it. Historically 2-0 can be a bit of a dangerous lead. Obviously, it was not too long ago as well for us against Oxford at home. So, Morris got the goal. I mean, these teams never learn though, do they? They never mark him on set pieces sometimes. When we played Everton last season, they didn't mark him when we beat them at Goodison Park, first ever Premier League win. And then obviously this game, they didn't mark him at the back post. I couldn't really believe it, to be honest, that they didn't. But great that Morris scored as well. That's 3 goals in 2 games for him. So, yeah, man, looking very good. But great cross from Doughty. His crossing, like we mentioned earlier, and during the time was really good in this game. Pretty much every cross was a threat. So that's great to see. But gave us a lot of confidence, didn't it? That second goal, Dan.
Yeah, great corner. And again, a part of it's down to, Elijah was back, putting off his man. And also, I think normally when we play them corners in, Morris isn't directly heading it to goal, is he? He's sort of trying to head it back in. But this time, he was just in that position. And free header and he weren't going to miss from there. And it was like, whoa, do you know what I mean? But they defended like that at the end of the day, you know. So yeah, great header. I knew he'd score anyway if he was playing today. I did call that out. But again, that was from the link with Elijah as well. And there was another moment where his ball control's excellent. You know, when he drew it into the box, squared it to it, and they just got the tackle in just before. Otherwise, Elijah would have got off the mark, you know. But yeah, excellent. You know, great assist for Doughty as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously, you know, we were just piling up pressure on them. You know, I can't really think of anything they'd done other than that shot they had outside the box, but a routine save for Kaminsky, you know, a player of his quality.
They did have that back heel chance, which was blocked by Hashioka. Actually, that would have been a good goal. That was a cheeky effort from them. But yeah, great block from Hashioka.
Yeah, other than them two, you know, and the own goal we nearly scored. They didn't really have a sniff, and then obviously Jacob Brown got the winner. Kaminsky got an assist. Oh, we love that. We love that, and I really like this game for Kaminsky because he finally didn't really have to do anything.
Yeah, that one. I mean? That from the long run. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, he didn't have to do anything, and he deserved that, man. You know, we thought going into the season, you know, he wouldn't have to do as much, obviously, as the Premier League, and you know, he has had to do a lot. But this game, he didn't have to really do anything other than that save, like we say, and he got an assist. You know, got an assist for Brown. That, for me, that was the best goal. Just for the sense of the run, you know, the way the keeper's got the assist and the finish. You know, the finish was unbelievable, and he had that planned. Obviously, he was speaking to Osho in DMs. Jacob Brown had that planned to do that when he scores the winner, and it basically was, as much as we were, you know, 2-0 up already. It cemented it, didn't it? So that was a great finish, and we've got high hopes and expectations, like we've said, Dad, for Brown. So it's always good to see him come on and do that. And, you know, if he can stay injury free, then he's going to be a massive player for us this season.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. There was good play before that. I think it was Nakamba. Ruddock played a through ball to Elijah, and he was running. He had a shot at the far post that their keeper come out early and smothered it as well. But yeah, long ball as well. There's nothing wrong with it. Do you know what I mean? Play football on the ground when you can, but utilise your strengths. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't care. I said, Watford, they scored all their goals from. So what?
Well, you can't defend, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? The second goal, you weren't marking. So just what you're chatting.
Like the aim is to score goals. Not, you know, we're not in a circus. We're not, you know what I mean. You're not trying to play like Man City, and you shouldn't be. You know, at certain times, yeah, it's nice to watch nice football, but passing it round at the back and then passing it 100 times outside the penalty area, trying to get the perfect goal and all that, it's just bollocks. It's ruining football. And yeah, it was good. That's it. Battle. Do that and play nice football where you can. You know, get the money, get the promotions, and then you can get the better technical players that allow you more to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, great assist. I'm really pleased for him. Like I said, he that's probably the least amount he's had to do for how many games? Do you reckon? 40 games? I don't know. More than that.
Probably since the Brighton game.
Yeah, you know, so well, obviously not 40 games then, but do you know what I mean? In every other game, he's had to be making 3, 4, 5 very good saves. This one, that was it, which was good to see, and that you know, that's what we need, and that's because the way we were playing, instead of like being vulnerable and this, that, and the other. Obviously, against other teams, it could be a different story, but once your confidence is up and things like that, it makes me. And don't forget, we had a lot of players out as well, so that makes it.
Yeah, it's like we say, you know, going into it, we were nervous, you know, because of them players out.
Yeah, we got Walsh to come back.
Coventry will be back, yeah.
Again, possibly. It'll be at least be on the bench. So yeah, great assist.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was brilliant to see, and yeah, that cemented it. That put the icing on the cake, and it was absolute limbs at the stadium. It was absolute limbs in this room as well, and that obviously went in to cement it. But yeah, that was always good, and yeah, that was that on the game as a whole. So now we'll get into the player ratings. So we'll start off with Kaminsky. Obviously, like I say, he didn't have to do anything other than that save, which was great. He got an assist. So I'm gonna go. There will be a lot of high ratings for me. Not too high, but there'll be a lot. I'm gonna go over 8 for Kaminsky.
I'll give him 7.5. Just he got that save assist. Yeah. Other than that, he was pretty quiet. Do you know what I mean? But I'll give him 7.5.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Jackie's in the chat. 6.5. Do get in your player ratings as well. We'll go into other comments a bit later on when we get into them players individually. Moving on to Burke. Obviously, did have to come off, but I think he was solid. A lot of people saying, I'd love him to be the captain, including myself. Obviously, we knew Morris was going to be it coming back, but just after what he said against Sheffield United, been good, and he rose. He rose to the occasion, and he done well when before he come off. So I'll go 7.5. Burke.
Yeah, same 7.5. He had that shot as well.
Yeah.
Just a bit worrying, but he did. They walked off. The ones that did come off, they all walked off. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 8.5 says Jackie. Kaminsky 10. I mean, clean sheet. could give him that. McGuinness, really good in this game. That sliding block tackle, whatever you want to call it. Oh my God, that was unbelievable. I was praising it heavily at the time. Because it was just, like we say, we have seen good glimpses of him, and we believe he'll be good, for us. And I'll tell you what, if we paid that money for him and he does stuff like that, pretty much week in, week out, then we got ourselves a top player. But yeah, really good in this game. Did play the whole game as well. So, shout out to him. That was definitely his best game in the Luton shirt so far. So I'll go with another 8.
Yeah, I'll give him. I'll give him an 8. Definitely the best performance. We knew he was capable of that, and that tackle, yeah, especially in the wet as well. And I thought they were going to score then. It was a brilliant tackle, and then he was just calm all game. And they, the whole defense didn't have massive amounts to do, but when they did, they dealt.
They rose.
Calm, rose to it. Yeah, so I'm giving them an 8.
Yeah, and another thing I was gonna say as well is you've seen them sort of tackles. Look at the Walsh one. All right, weather was a little bit worse, but look at the tackle he done. You have to time them tackles right, especially in that weather at times, and he did. I reckon there was probably a few doubts. Not from us, but just in general, like maybe some fans, because they haven't rated him as much as we have since he's come in. But that was unbelievable tackle there. Burke 8.5. Oh yeah, read that. 9.5 for Burke. McGuinness 9. He was brilliant at defence. Yeah, absolutely best game. Moving on to Holmes. Really good performance. For the half until obviously, unfortunately, he had to come off. Hopefully, he's okay for tomorrow. I do think if he plays more for us, he will. Could cement his place in the starting 11. To be honest, and it was obviously his first, start for us. And it was good. It was good from home. So I'll go 7.5.
I'll give him an 8. I thought other than that back pass, it looked worse than it was. Really, it was risky, but the shot that led to the goal. His first start, I think, as well. And in that, I think he could play anywhere across the back three. I think we've seen him pre-season and stuff, and he was highly rated. We'd been after him for a while, and you could kind of see why. I like the size of him, I like the bulk of him, I like the fact that he can shoot as well, which is always good. I thought he done really well, and obviously it was a concussion thing, possibly. They didn't want to risk it, or I'm hoping. I don't think he did pick up any injury or anything, but there was a nasty clash of heads, and I think he was sort of raving about it as well, like a bit, when it happened, sort of saying that they done it a bit on purpose, whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I still think he done well. I'll give him 8.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie's gone with the same 8. Common you out says 9. Yeah, fair enough. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Moses. I thought he done really well, especially in the first half. Tackling, making them forward runs, trying to get us corners and stuff like that. He used his experience really well, and he was playing, out wide. Doing a bit of a defensive role as well, and he done well in this game. Like I say, used his experience. So for me, I'll go for 8.
I'll give him 7.5. Obviously, I know I prefer him to be further up, but as it is, it's fine for him to be in that position. Do you know what I mean? He's in my opinion, he's better than Ian. There's obviously not as pacey as Chio, but technically he's much better. And defensive attributes are also much better. His experience, it goes without saying. 7.5.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Moses 10, 8.5 says Jackie. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Doughty. Like I say, his crossing in this game was really good. Obviously got an assist for obviously the second goal, and obviously provided the cross for the first goal as well. But yeah, really good in this game. And I thought the way he was covering and helping Johnson as well was really good. I've sung his praises when it comes to him defensively, Doughty, and he was really good in this game. So he is my man of the match, in this game. And obviously did play the whole game as well. So yeah, for me, I will give him a we'll go double figures.
Course, man. 100%.
Yeah. Do you know what? I will. I will go double figures. I was thinking maybe going 9, but I'll go over 10. I will actually give him double figures.
Yeah. That's my first 10 of the season. Like, he got this. He was hard working. He was all over the pitch. He lost the ball once and was angry with himself. But again, the pitch contributed to that. He was everywhere, fighting, and then, like you say, defending as well. That's probably the best performance for him this season as well. Straight 10, definitely.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I know they did give it to Morris in the stadium. So a few people obviously told me and stuff, but yeah, I just feel Doughty, just the way he was covering, was unbelievable. But again, there's a lot of players that could be up there for this game. Give it to everyone if you really wanted to. It was that type of game, wasn't it? But yeah, the other ratings, Doughty 9, 10 because he turned into a centre back in the second half. Yeah, exactly. He literally was, wasn't he? He done very well. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Clark. Obviously got the goal. Done well, put in a good shift. I loved his celebration. I did think for a second he was going to celebrate in front of them like Ocho did and Elijah, but I loved the way he was patting on a badge and stuff like that. That was great to see. And good game from Clark. That's now put him in the conversation. Do you play him in the centre midfield again? Obviously, you've got no Baptiste as well, so it's all up for debate. I mean, we are at home, so you would say we'd play more attacking as well. So yeah, Clark, I will go with. What do I go with Clark? Joe, what? Go 8.5 for Clark.
Yeah, I'll give him 8. See the goal, just hard working, and sometimes it works with him in that position. Sometimes it doesn't, but in this game it did. I think having Chong a little bit in front of him helped, and Kraus alongside. I think that definitely helped because they were both performing as well. So yeah, I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, Clark 9, 10. I like the way he celebrated his goal. Yeah, exactly. That was lovely. Kraus, excuse me. Moving on to Kraus, really good in the game. You know, I had a feeling he would be up for this game even more. Like just the type of player he is, the way he gets stuck in and stuff. I thought this game would be really good for him. Obviously, it was, and see him celebrating at full time and that. The pictures on Twitter and that was great to see. And again, he was really good in the game. You know, definitely warrants a start for sure, no question about that. So for me, I will say for Kraus, 8.5 again.
No, 8 from me. Like, I like the way he gets doesn't give up on loose balls and things like that, and it's growing more and more into the team. He's definitely got that ability. I'm hoping he's not the one that's not going to be playing tomorrow, but it is what it is. I guess the Campbell will go in there. But yeah, I'm liking him the more I see him play. He's always involved in something and nearly creating stuff. It's just going to get better, and he's so hard working as well, which I like. So I'm going to give him an 8.
Yeah, fair enough. 8.5. As said Jackie. I like the way he celebrated the win at Derby. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, you gotta love it. Gotta love it. That picture of him and Morris. Oh, that's brilliant. But yeah, moving on to Chong. You know, tried to be effective. Obviously, did help out defensively. You know, like we said in the game. I just think he needs that goal for confidence. Quite similar to Elijah in that sense. Like they work hard, you know, and I think he did in this game. It's just that trying to get that goal in this game. I mean, obviously he's one of the players that might be a doubt for tomorrow, so it's interesting. Be a bit annoying if that's happened because he's just come back, hasn't he? So we shall see. But yeah, for me, Chong, I'll go 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5. I thought he was decent though, but at times I think like he should have released. He was like just trying to whack in shots and things like that. And I know he score and prove himself and that, but you know he is definitely a handy player to have. And then he obviously had to come off, which I think it might be him that's the one that's not covered. He's not going to be playing tomorrow. But yeah, decent 7.5.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to OK Football in the chat. I reckon Chong will be involved tomorrow. I think Bert will miss out. Yeah, I think it's one of them two. They're the more two. I reckon it is. A lot of people obviously say Burke because you know his injury record's not the best, and obviously the way he went down as well. Usually, them type of injuries, I think they're like 6 weeks. You know that you're out for usually. So we'll see. We will see. Chong 8. 10, he was very confident in the derby. Yeah, he was a lot more confident to certain other games this season. I would agree, but again, it's one of them in it. The derby, you're always going to be up for it. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Elijah. Worked really hard in this game. I felt sorry for him. I wanted him to get that goal, you know, because he works so hard. He unbelievable, especially in the opening. Was it 5 minutes? You know, defensively. And I've always sung his praises for him defensively anyway, especially from corners. Like he's always heading stuff away and that. But he just works so hard. The way he was pressing him down as well was you know, we know he's good at that, but it really stood out in this game. You know, he was quality and he deserves a goal now. You know, if he keeps playing like that, anyway, obviously it's going to be hard to replicate that relentless running and stuff for 90 minutes, but really good in the game. And I just wanted him to get that goal, but it will come. You know, I know I don't want to keep saying that, but it will now. You know, especially if he continues like that, and especially if we play 2 up front. You know, carry on with this. Him and Morris. There's no reason why he can't get that goal at some point. So for me, he would actually be up there, even though he didn't score. He would be up there for a man of the match for me. Probably a close third. So for me, I will say 8.5.
For me, like in the first half, when I said it to you, he was my man of the match. Like going in, you know, the first half, his pressing, his running, everything. He was the hardest working player on the pitch, in my opinion. It was amazing, honestly. It was so close, and he deserved the goal. He was unlucky. but he affected playing. You know, that goal that Morris scored, that was because Elijah was keeping like two of their defenders busy. You know, and you can see that they five off each other. They need to be starting up front. Look at the difference it made in his confidence. It was unbelievable, and some of his touches and his runs and that were excellent as well. I'm giving him a 9.5. I don't like Flash scores. Give him some mediocre rating.
Yeah, I don't know who does the ratings on Flash scores.
If you score a goal, they automatically give you like an 8 or something. Do you know what I mean? Like it's no. He was the hardest working player for me, and he stayed on all game. He's probably going to be a bit knackered potentially from this. You know, he might be the one who get taken off early in against Sunderland, I reckon. But no, 9.5. I don't care. Yeah, it was brilliant. I'd love to see it.
Mm. Yeah, and obviously I know the game's at home tomorrow, but when we did play Sunderland, obviously away in the playoffs, obviously he did score in that game. So hopefully gets out. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's rested. You know, thinking about it, just due to how hard he worked and maybe Brown coming in. But we'll see. Tomorrow, 9.5 as well, says Jackie. Shout out to Charlie on buses in chat as well. 9, 10. I have that feeling he's going to score against Sunderland. I mean, you were close on the game, so you know you never know. You never know if you got that feeling, mate. It might happen. Moving on to Morris. Now he obviously got the goal, which was great to see, and obviously benefited Elijah. You know, as well. Them two up front, it's just much better, isn't it, when they're alongside each other? And you know, done really well. Come back in as well. You know, like I said earlier, 3 goals in 2 games. No complaints really for Morris. Obviously, like I say, he got man of the match in the stadium. You know, he's my close second to man of the match, but like I say, I give it to Doughty. So Morris, I will go. You know what? I'll go 9.5 for Morris.
Yeah, I have to go with the same because of the goal, and he did work hard as well. And he was proper captain in this game. You know what I mean? It's been questioned a little bit before, but he was. But I think there was a couple of leaders in there, and that's what I'm saying. That's what you needed. Clark was doing it. You know, they were all quite, you know, do you know what I mean? Together and sort of doing it. They were all like captains at times. But yeah, I'm going to give him a 9.5 as well. I thought, you know, he brought it in, and his confidence, his touches and that, and he tried so hard to set Elijah up at times and that as well. So yeah, and you know, and he didn't even play the whole game. You know what I mean? He come off as well. So, but I still give him I'll give him a 9.5.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Morris, male man of the match here. That's fair enough. 10 as well.
What I found was interesting was because they showed his touch map, didn't they, on Sky and that? But and it was, you know, all over the place as well. But I'd like to have seen Elijah's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you were saying.
I wanted to see that as well. But yeah, 9.5.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He's very high in confidence. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, going onto the captain thing, you know, there was a few question marks. He's probably looked at it, you know, and got, you know, thought to himself, "Oh, I'm going to show you lot now. Or I've come back as well." You know, there is people bigging me up, you know, getting them 2 goals against Sheffield Wednesday, massive part winning that, obviously. Come back, you know, and done that. So I'm happy he scored actually against Watford. Proper happy thinking about it, because I think there's a chant about Morris scoring against Watford originally. He didn't actually score against them, but now he has. So that's good. That's good to see. And like I say, 3 goals in 2 games. He's looking very good. But yeah, moving on to the subs. Obviously, we made 5 in this game. Hashioka, the first one, did get a yellow card, but he did look decent. You know, considering we had our slight worries, like we say, because of the reasons we said earlier. He done well, to be fair to him, you know, in the game. So I think I'll go over 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. I thought, you know, that block for their shot, you know, he made some good tackles. He was, you know, harassing people. He was doing what everyone else was doing, and that's what we was worried that he might not be. But obviously, let's put it into perspective. He has now been, although he ain't been playing so many games, he's, you know, he's in and around them boys and that. And do you know what I mean? He has got ability. and he can score a banger as well sometimes. So the more game time he gets, which is looking likely at the moment, the better for
Might
us.
even start tomorrow if Burke's out.
But he come on, I was a little bit worried. But when you come on and the rest of the team are playing like that, it does G you up. Do you know what I mean? And being still relatively new at the club, you're going to want to affiliate with their up and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, 7. He only had a half, so 7.
Yeah. 7 as well, says Charlie. 7.5 says Jackie. 10. He might be high in confidence against Sunderland. Yeah, he might even start, because if Burke's out, I could see him starting because he was, Burke's on that right side. Hashioka goes on that right side. So we'll see. I know sometimes when Luton do put out the posts of a player the day before or whatever, they usually do tend to start. Not always, because it didn't happen with Kraus, and that was heavily everything against Wednesday, but predominantly happened. So we'll see. We will see. But moving on to the next player, Johnson, done decent. And the thing I like about Johnson is, sometimes with these youngsters, they get a bit nervy, on the occasion, but he looks very calm and composed. A lot of times when he has come on for Luton, obviously the standout ones for me is the Everton FA Cup game last year. This game did have the support with Doughty, but when he was on the ball, I weren't really nervous, to be honest, with him at all. And obviously you were happy that he was playing again, Dad. Obviously you said about starting him.
I did personally think he was a little bit nervy at times, but the fact was that this time they addressed that and he had cover and helping. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I think his position a little bit at times was a little bit wall. Do you know what I mean? But like you say, he had the help and it worked. Do you know what I mean? But I did see that he was a little bit nervy. You know what I mean? Probably the youngest player on the pitch as well. Like, well, for us, definitely.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? I'll give him a 6.5. I'll just put it out there.
Fair enough. I'll go 7. I'll go a little bit higher. I'll go 7 for Johnson. 8 for Johnson. 7.5 says Jackie. He may be effective against Sunderland. Yeah, you never know. Again, it depends, doesn't it? Really, who's out, really. But then again, I'll probably see him being on the bench even if Burke is out. Maybe though, if Holmes is out, the one out, then I could see him starting, to be honest, on that left. But we shall see. Moving on to the next player, Nakamba. Like I said earlier, solid when he come on. When he's in front of the defence, the way he just wins the ball, like he makes it look too easy at times. And that's what he was doing in this game. So for me, I will go 7.5.
I'll give him 7. I thought he's getting back to his best basically. But he's still being eased in. But I think depending tomorrow, he might start. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, that's fair enough. 8.7. Okay, interesting rating. I was thinking of going a little bit higher, 8, but I'll go with 7.5. Ruddock, unbelievable. Like we said when he come on, immense. Like I said on the watch along, just really good. He rose to the occasion and it was just brilliant. His passing, it was crazy. I'll be honest, it was weird to see him that good again. Like, I'll be honest, because obviously he has had his shaky moments, but yeah, really good in this game. So do you know what? I know it's a sub, but because how good he was, I'll go with 8.
Yeah, I'm giving him 8. He was, and we said during I don't mind before he got. I don't mind him coming on because we know in this game that he's not going to let us down, and he didn't. There was one bit where he slipped that nearly gave it to him, but then won it back straight away, played it back to the keeper. That's brilliant. And he ran into the box at one point, didn't he? And we was like, God. And it was just again all over playing the Luton way in that respect, and he emphasised that. Do you know what I mean? And I thought he was really good, so I'm going to give him an 8. And it gives me more confidence. Like, even if he started, I don't think he will start tomorrow, but if he comes on, do you know what I mean? Because that'll give him boost as well,
Yeah.
yeah, brilliant. 8.
Yeah. And of course we love Ruddock, but before that he just had a bit of shaky games, which is frustrating. But for sure, if they do a see out thing with him, at the stadium or whatever, I'll for sure try and go to that. That'd be sick to go to and stuff. But yeah, other ratings. Pelly 9. He's good in the defense. Yeah, in front of the defense. 7.5. Pelly 8. Yeah, that's fair enough. So yeah, we shall see. Moving on to Brown. Obviously got the goal. For me, that was the one to cement it. Like, even though we were pretty comfortable, I just still felt 2-0 was one of them sort of things. Say they get that goal where Hashioka blocked it, it could be a different ending. So, it was a great goal. Obviously, Kaminsky got the assist, like I say. It's just an unbelievable strike, to be honest. The run he's made and then to do that finish is quality. And again, that'll give him a lot of confidence, and if he can stay injury free, we've got a top backup striker option / starter sometimes this season. So for me, I will go, you know what? It could be too high in some people's opinion, but I'm going to go about 8.5.
I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was really good. I'm not sure. I was thinking like maybe he could potentially be the fastest player we've got now. I'm not sure, but he's definitely got a lot of pace. And yeah, he had a lot to do. Turn the defender, put him on his arse, and then make the run, and then he had another defender in the box, and then with clever finish. You'd expect him to go to the far post. He didn't. He just clipped it inside. Absolutely wicked finish. Best goal of the game. And yeah, well, I rate him anyway. And he's probably pushing to be in and around like them 3 up front, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't be disappointed if he started alongside Morris, or even played in the number, the number 10 position, because that could be dangerous. But yeah, 8, brilliant, excellent finish.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 for the goal in celebration. Yeah, the celebration was quality.
And he was getting stuck in defensively as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and all of them were. Brown, wicked goal, 8.5. He's clever as well. Yeah, he is. Because he's one of them, right? When he has a shot sometimes, he's one of them players where you, as a keeper, right, you probably think that say, for example, you think he shoots towards his right, but the keeper's left, but he'll shoot the other way. Like, he'll get him with the eyes and stuff. And I felt like that was
really clever. On that, he's got that Premier League quality in that respect. Even the goals he scored in the Premier League. I remember one. He just rolled it. He sort of p-rolled it in, but do you know what I mean? But pace and things like that. And then that finish in the cup he had as well. I think I can't remember.
Yeah, Gillingham. Yeah, that was a great goal.
Yeah. We forgot about, we didn't forget about him, but he was in the background for a while when we was talking about Strike, Woodrow, Taylor, and things like that. And he's just moved ahead now, but you can see why, and he works hard as well, and he's the Luton fit, with his personality and things like that. So yeah, he could be pushing for a start.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, for sure. Brown 10. Yeah, exactly. He's been brilliant as a sub. Yeah, come on, Hanno. He backed us to win 2-1. Yeah, obviously we said 2-1 as well. But yeah, that is the player ratings done. So when it comes to the votes now for the players, Baptiste and Kaminsky are joint top. Doughty is now actually second. Now he's got 3 votes for the season. So we both gave him it for this game. As for the point stud, me and you, we both got a point each. Like we said, we both went with a 2-1 win for Luton. So it's currently 6-2 to me on the points. So there we go. We're getting a few points in, like Luton are, and hopefully we continue to do this now. But yeah, that is that when it comes to that. So overall, you've got to love a win in the derby. Like I said on the watch along, I would have liked one more because they love to go on about the 4-0 like it's a Champions League knockout game. But we'll take that. will take that for sure. Brilliant performance, and it was probably a game you wanted after the international break, after we've been poor throughout the season. Let's be honest. It was a good game to come back in, and players are always going to be up for that. And I have my doubts about the lineup, especially the makeshift defence. They haven't played with each other, and they're just average performances. So that is how we should be playing every game. Obviously, it's hard to continue that relentless and like for example Elijah and that, but just the sense of the way we were playing. I don't like the passing around about like a lot of us. Or even mix it up a little bit. I just feel like you said, Dad. With them, the players we got now, you can't really do that. You probably need about 2 or 3 windows really if you wanna play that type of football. So yeah, anything else you want to say on the game, Dad?
Yeah, no, just little things that I noticed, like Krul, was on the bench. I could see him like encouraging them and stuff like that. He hasn't played a lot, and when we have seen him play, he hasn't been too great. But in the changing rooms and that, I do think he's a popular character, and I think he does still enjoy being at the club. Do you know what I mean? I noticed that. I would notice Rob Edwards like proper giving instructions throughout the whole game. Relentless. Which we haven't seen too much. We, especially in the Premier League, we didn't really see it too much. But I don't, you know what I mean? But maybe because the players were more doing their jobs anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I think that's a little bit of an added thing that I noticed. Very active on the touchline. And yeah, it just worked. And his interview after the game was quite funny. Obviously, I clipped up a little bit of it. Where he said, "People need to stop looking at me, getting fed up with it." To be honest, that was quite fair play to him for being feisty like that. It was, because he didn't over celebrate, because he knows we should be higher. When you look at Burnley, Sheffield United, and the teams that are up there, say bar Sunderland, you should really expect them to be up there. Not top anyway. We should be doing better, but he wasn't over celebrating it. But obviously, inside he would have been. Obviously, do you know what I mean? But it's still got to keep your eye on the ball, because we've said that you can't have that performance and then go back to how we was playing. There is a slight risk of that because of defence, if the injuries we've got, and they put in such a performance that it's obviously going to have an effect on some players. They're not going to be able to do that in the next game, and if they don't, you can't be really too harsh on them either. So it's how he manages the next couple of games. I mean, Coventry, obviously, they're in terrible form.
They're playing today as well, so that's going to be interesting.
There's that little rivalry there now because obviously the playoffs and stuff like that. Is that the first time we've played them since Wembley?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, there you go. Then they're going to be up for that. So we've got but we'll have some players back by then, I believe. Yeah, we might get a birthday dub. But yeah,
like birthday dub. I mean, you could say the Watford one was maybe a bit early.
But yeah.
Then again, tomorrow's could be early as well. 2 days before my birthday, you never know.
Yeah, there's other stuff I could touch on, but I'm not even going to bother. Do you know what I mean? Because I want to get into Sunderland game,
Yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, no, like I say. And also another thing I wanted to say, obviously I wasn't at the game, but I'd see it and people told me. Rob Edwards, obviously, like we say, because he knows we should be in a better position than that. He let the players do the celebrating full time with the fans. Obviously, it was good to see Lockyer there as well. Obviously, in the I like that old school Luton shirt. Both the shirts from that season are really nice. Actually, you got that orange one, and then you got the blue one as well. So I think they're still in the club shop. But yeah, there'll be places where you can get them. So I will actually probably get them at some point because they are banging for sure. So yeah, man. We will get into the Sunderland game now. So obviously midweek at home. Obviously, the last time we was at home was during the midweek was that game against Oxford. See, a 2-2 draw that was. 2-0 up. Bit surprised, to be honest, that we were actually 2-0 up. It felt weird at the time. Obviously, didn't quite hold on to it, but can we bring that confidence from the Watford game into this game now? We shall see. But insight going into it, obviously, as for the standings, Sunderland are top of the league. As for us, obviously, we're 17th. But if we did win, depending on other results, we could maybe, it's probably a bit of a push, but we could jump up to 11th potentially. But you get a few wins on the bounce, you're right up there in the playoff conversation. That's still what it's looking like there. But when it comes to other stuff, Luton are unbeaten in their last 4 home games against Sunderland in all competitions, winning 2, drawing 2 since a 5-0 defeat on the final day of the 2006-7 season. The last 4 regular league meetings between Luton and Sunderland have all ended as a 1-1 draw. Luton haven't lost any of their last 7 midweek games in the Championship since the 2-0 away defeat to Stoke. Yeah, that was Nathan Jones's last game, actually. I remember that. I remember doing a watch along to that. Winning 3, drawing 4. Sunderland are unbeaten in 4 of their last 6 Championship games in midweek, winning 3, drawing 1, losing 2, keeping a clean sheet on all 4 occasions. They've avoided defeat. And this is quite interesting. Luton's Alfie Doughty has been involved in goals in both league appearances for the Hatters against Sunderland, assisting in October 2022, ironically, and scoring in March 2023. Obviously, that was the 1-1 draw, I believe, when he scored that free kick. So, that's that when it comes to that. A bit more on it. So, Sunderland, they have had a strong start, obviously, to the season, losing just 2 of their first 10 league games at the Stadium of Light. In their last game, they obviously beat Hull 1-0. Bit of controversy on the goal, but they did get a win, and it was a great finish by the player who did score. Chris Rigg, who was in the under-17s England World Cup squad with Joe Johnson, has started in exceptional form, scoring crucial goals in big games against Middlesbrough and Leeds. Last time we met, we got to touch on that. It was obviously the playoff semi-final, second leg. Oh, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable that was. The atmosphere was, I weren't there, but I know it was unbelievable. Obviously, I did a watch long. And, that was, what a day that was, thinking about it. Going back to it, obviously, Osho opened the scoring, and then obviously Lockyer, put us 2-0 up, and then obviously got us to the final. And then obviously our last game obviously beat Watford, like I said. Official going into it be Tom Neild. 34 yellow cards and no red cards have been handed out by Neild across his 8 games this season. He dished out 8 yellow cards in his previous fixture when Norwich put 4 past Hull earlier this month. We've not actually had a game run by him in over 6 years. Our last was in League One at Doncaster in September 2018. It's the first time he's refereed a fixture, a competitive one at Kenilworth Road as well. So quite interesting. What I have noticed as well, I had a little look yesterday. A lot of the games he's refereed in this year, they've all been high scoring. The only one that wasn't high scoring was Walsall versus Leicester in the League Cup. But other than that, the lowest scoring one's been 1-1. Other than that, it's been a few 2-2s, I think. 4-0, obviously Norwich. It's written that there's going to be goals maybe in this game. We shall see. But that's all of that. Team news. Like I said earlier, Rob Edwards has kept it close to his chest, really. So we don't really know what to expect when it comes to the lineup for this one. We know, a few times in the Premier League, he done it quite similar, kept it close to his chest, or he said certain players weren't in, and then they were in. So I think he might be doing that. But players that look like they're not going to be out, they are going to be out. Sorry, Bell still, Mengi by the looks of it, and Anderson. And like I said, Baptiste could be too soon. He is training, but could be too soon. The question marks are Chong, Kraus, Burke, and Holmes. Now, let me know in the chat right now who you think is the one that's out. I mean, the most that I'm seeing is either Chong or Burke. Obviously, we'll get into who we think on our lineups in a second. But after saying all of that, Dad, how are you feeling going into this game?
Yeah, well, obviously now I'm feeling a lot more confident. Yes, they're top of the league, but yeah, we were unbeaten in the last 3 home games. We unbeaten against them for a while. We've got a good record against them. We'll be buzzing. So I know the players will be a little bit tired. So I'm confident that we can get a result, definitely.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. And like I say, when you look at the record and stuff, we do have a good record. And I'll be honest, as much as they're top of the league, and I did say the same thing about Watford, obviously not top of the league, but they're not great away in my opinion. Like they bring great, their support's unbelievable, but on the pitch sometimes they're not quite on it, especially away from home. They have had a few defeats this season away. They're much better at home. They've had some good wins at home, but when it comes to away, bit hit and miss for me. Obviously they did. I know we did as well, but they, were top of the league at the time. Obviously they lost to Plymouth. Now they have had a few other results as well that have not been too great away from home to what they could be. You look at the other game, they did lose to Watford as well, which weren't great. So yeah, just certain ones. But other than that, they've obviously won all of them, beating Cardiff first game of the season, which I did actually predict that right. Beat Portsmouth, which was a decent win at the time. Given how Portsmouth started the season, and then obviously a beat Hull, bit of controversy. So I do think if we were, if we play the same formation, we can definitely get a result. That's for sure. If we change it up again, then I don't know, it will not be as good. I don't think, but yeah, Holmes, you reckon? Fair enough. I mean, he did have the concussion, so maybe. And I think there is a rule, isn't there? You have to be out for a certain amount of time if he's had it. But it all depends how bad it is, really. But we'll see. I mean, let's get into our lineups now. So obviously, I will start off with my lineup in this one. So for me, and going into this game, I will go with this lineup. Let me just move like that so you can actually see me. So I've gone Kaminsky in goal, goes without saying. I do reckon Holmes will be in. McGuinness, I do reckon, McGuinness, there's nothing wrong with him. He's fine, so he'll be in. And I do reckon Burke will be in. The player that I don't think will be in will be Chong. I could be wrong, but we'll see. I feel, if all them 3 are available, that's obviously the best back 3 you can go with right now. Doughty on the left, Moses on the right, goes without saying, especially after their last performances. Doughty's good record, like I mentioned, against Sunderland as well. Krause and Clark, I've kept Clark there. I was thinking of maybe putting him a bit higher, but then again, I don't really know who I was going to put in, because you could put in Nakamba, but I don't want to go with 2 CDMs in this game, because we're at home. I want to try and go at them at times. And then obviously Krause, like I say, goes without saying. And then I have gone 2 up front, again, expected. And I've actually got Morris and Elijah. And I've gone Brown behind, because like I said, I don't think Chong's going to be in. I mean, you could put Nelson there. But I, you know what? After how Brown played the other day, I would go with him. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if Elijah was rested because how hard he worked, and you put Brown in there, and then I don't know, maybe Chong was available. But that's my lineup that I would go with in this game. So do get in your lineups as well. And Dad, I'll get up your lineup now.
Yeah, can't see me on my and all that, but yeah, pretty similar to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Same defence. We're just guessing a little bit. But if it's not Burke, it'll be Hashioka. If it's not Holmes, it'll be still Hashioka, but they'll just move over. Moses and Doughty fully expect to start. Krause, hopefully, if not, it'll be Nakamba. You've got to stick them 2 up front again. And obviously, I'll put Nelson in there. I mean, I question that, but I feel like it could be good in there. Chong's not playing there, but also you could put Clark there and then the Campbell. So we'll see. But I wouldn't mind seeing Nelson there. I know he's young and that, but Sunderland play a lot of young players as well, and they're doing all right. So I just think maybe he should be given a chance. I'm reluctant to put Brown there because I'd rather him come off, off the bench and replace either Morris or Elijah or something like that. But there's a number of players you can put there. I like, if we need to be playing that more, you could put Woodrow there. You could even put any of the strikers there, really, and rotate them. But like I say, you could put Clark there, you could put Chong there, but you could put all sorts of players there. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think he'll go back to one up front, especially at home time. So it's something along them lines. You know what I mean? We're not going to change it too much. It depends how they're managing their fitness after that game. But we got an extra day over Sunderland, maybe, or half a day, or whatever you want to call it, because they played the following day. So hopefully that'll help. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that I think Holmes will be all right. I don't think it is concussion. I think it's just a precaution. Maybe felt a little bit groggy or whatever. I don't think he's actually injured. I'm hoping it's not back, but it's easy to presume that it is, but I don't think it is. I think it's more likely to be Chong. So yeah, that's what I'd go with.
Yeah, so only one difference in our lineup. I wouldn't mind Nelson Hyatt, to be fair, in this game. And he does get that opportunity. I wouldn't mind that at all. Watford are losing already. Conceded in the 4th minute. There's been a lot of goals flying in. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, we're early on. Yeah, there's been a goal in 4 games, I think, in the Championship already. It's crazy. Just to run through quickly. So Cardiff have beaten Portsmouth. Shout out to Portsmouth, by the way. Got their first win. That was good to see. They deserved that at some point. Obviously, Leeds are winning, like I say. Preston have scored against Norwich. And Stoke has scored against Bristol City. So goals are flying in, to be honest. But yeah, that's that. When it comes to that, there is a lineup in the chat. Kaminsky in goal. I'd say, so you're saying Johnson left centre back, McGuinness in the middle, Hashioka. It could be that. I definitely think if Burke's out, then I could see Hashioka there. But then if Holmes is out, I could see Johnson there and then the other one in. Out of the players that I've mentioned there. Nelson, right wing back. I mean, he has played there. It could be interesting. Kraus, yeah. Clark, yeah. Doughty on the left, obviously. Oh, okay. No Moses. That's quite interesting. There. But yeah, fair enough. That's interesting. Walters will be out for a while, mate. He's broke his foot, hasn't he? So he'll be out for a while. But obviously, speedy recovery for him there. But yeah, that's when it comes to that. So it is that time. And I know a few people have, but if you haven't, do get in your score prediction. 2-0 leads already, by the way. They've just scored again. Oh, this could relimb, so I'm going to have to turn this on after. But yeah, your score prediction for the game tomorrow, Dad?
I think it's going to be tough. They are top. We do have games against them, but it's been a lot of draws. We either win or we lose at home. Sometimes, you know what I mean. And I don't think we're going to lose. But I think some of them players will be tired. You're not going to get exactly the same performance. You're just not. You're going to get a decent performance, I think. And they'll be a bit nervous about coming to Kenilworth Road. You know what I mean? Because of past histories and that. So, well, I'm going to go for the 1-1 draw.
Yeah, we do like a 1-1 draw, like mentioned earlier. For me, I've got a lot more confidence now, from that game. Like I say, it's not going to be quite the same of the relentless working hard in that sense, but I think it will give us confidence now. I think Rob Edwards will see it. We got to play that formation again. And I am going to back us to win. I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Luton. I think in the playoffs, I might have said a 2-1. Second leg, and then obviously we win in extra time, I think I said. But yeah, I'll go 2-1 to Luton in this one. So yeah, other comments on predictions: 3-1 Luton. I like that. That'll be a good win. I was going to sit on the fence and do a 1-1 draw, but we're going to do a 2-1. Nice. Hope we play aggressive like they did Saturday. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. For sure. 3-1. Elijah. Oh, that'd be brilliant. Morris and McGuinness. Okay, interesting. That's not bad shouts. Charlie on buses 2-2 or 2-1 Luton. Yeah, it could be a high scoring draw. I could also see that, to be fair, 2-all. Especially like I say, the referee. If you actually look at his games this season, they've all been high scoring by that one game that I mentioned. So yeah, that's that. Goal scorers, Dad. Is Morris going to keep it up? Is Elijah going to finally score? What do you reckon?
No, I think they do defend quite well in games. You know what I mean? Right. And I think after the performance Elijah put in, he's probably going to be knackered. I'm going to go for Moses.
Moses. Okay. Someone else. Nice. Oh, who am I going to go with? I think it's hard just to knock back Morris at the moment to not score. So I'm going to go Morris to make it 4 at least out of 3. That'll be if he does that. I want to go Elijah. I do want to go Elijah, but I don't know. Maybe on the weekend. Maybe I could see it on the weekend. Coventry away. I'll go Morris and who should I go with? That's a difficult one. I'll go. I'll go Jacob Brown to come on and score if he doesn't start. So yeah, I'll go with them two to get the goals. Jackie's gone Elijah and Morris. Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, there we go with that. But Leeds are looking good. I do think Leeds will probably go up now.
They're good teams, especially at home.
Yeah, and also people might say, "Oh, well, it's not really a great reason," but I just think because Klopp's now got a say, hasn't he, on Leeds, part of the Red Bull situation, all the teams at Red Bull, and I just think Leeds will go up now. Like they've got a good squad anyway, but if you got him talking, and on top of that, and I also not even just that, I also think I think I said it yesterday on yesterday's stream. It's a similar situation that we had in the sense of you don't go up, then you'll be extra motivated. You lose the playoffs, you'll be extra motivated to do it again. And the way they're playing at the moment, beat a Sheffield United team who were unbeaten,
Yeah.
Clean sheet as well. I do think they will be in the top 2 now. I think I had them in the top 2 anyway. Let me just double check. So I've got a thing on it. Yeah, I did. I actually had them second. Burnley topped them second. So we shall see with that. Jeez. Oh, mate. Elijah gets out. Could you imagine? Well, that'd be limbs. And Johnson gets a goal. That'd be pretty sick. Johnson got a goal, to be honest. But we shall see. 2-0 to Preston against Norwich. I mean, Norwich have been in all right form as well. That's a bit surprised. But then again, Preston are decent at home, as we know, unfortunately. Oxford have beaten Derby as well. The goals are flying in. I think there's been a goal in all the games. Oh, it's crazy. So yeah, 2-0 Cardiff now. See, they're all just coming in now. The way it's going, it could be a heavy defeat for Portsmouth away again. Like that Stoke game, 2 goals already. But Cardiff, they're on smoke all of a sudden. What's going on? They haven't even got a proper manager. He's an interim. It's crazy. But yeah, any final things, Dad, you want to say about anything?
No, just get points on the board, don't it? At least get a draw. Obviously, we can get a win. We're quite capable of it, but we have got a lot of injuries, tired. I think it'd be hard to replicate that performance, but I don't see it going totally the other way. And then, hopefully have a couple. Well, we will have a couple back. I would have thought for the Coventry game, and that's in a way more difficult, I think, because they're under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I'd agree. You don't like to play them teams near the bottom sometimes.
Yeah,
when they're under that pressure that they are. Oh, and just to quickly say, they're the only team that ain't scored or been a goal in that game, actually.
Normally they do give us a pretty good game as well. So yeah, but yeah.
Hard as 5-0. That was just unbelievable from us. I was at that game midweek.
Yeah. But that was at home though, wasn't it? So
yeah. Away, they draws quite a lot in it, or 1-0 win to someone. So we'll get into that obviously on Thursday. But yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Do smash a like. Obviously, I know a few people watch this back. And shout out to everyone that watched the Mike fan cam. 8 new subscribers from that. So yeah, big up. And they'll be doing it tomorrow as well. I think David might be doing one himself as well, actually. So check that out. I'll be doing a watch along. So if you're not going to the game, then obviously do watch that if you can. And then if you are at the game, like I say, David will be doing the fan cams. So do obviously jump on that if you can. And yeah, that's that really when it comes to that. So all of that's out. Then Thursday, there's quite a lot going on. Obviously, the Hut Show, like I say. There will be a championship show as well after that. And we'll get into the Luton whole games on there and then, preview the weekend games. And then I think I might be going on the Sunderland channel to react to the game. He did ask me if I could preview the game, but yeah, it's a bit hectic for me at the moment. So yeah, should be going on there for a reaction. So I'll put the link in because it'll be before after the streams on Thursday. And then Friday, like I say, I might do a video, just a pre-recorded video on the team news. So, and we have a better understanding if anyone gets injured or whatever tomorrow, then I'll probably do one on my birthday. And then Saturday, I'll be at the Coventry game, so there'll be a vlog. And I'll try and do what I did for Sheffield United and do a quick reaction outside the ground pretty much straight after the game. And yeah, from there on in, I'm not too sure from the top of my head. Obviously, it'll be a Hat Show, but I'm not too sure when. But content every day from now until Saturday for sure. So keep an eye on the channel if you haven't already. And we are close to 2,100 subscribers. We're literally 8 away. So if we could get there soon, that'd be great. And yeah, big up to everyone. Come on, Luton. Let's be aggressive against Sunderland. Absolutely, mate. And that is where we are going to wrap it up. So big up to everyone. Follow me across all my socials. Smash a like, subscribe, all of that. And I will see you lot tomorrow. My dad will see you lot next time. So take care and peace.
Peace.